hooks, and with this React will be completed. I thought to complete Redux also in this, but it felt like it's a very big topic, and Redux projects, Redux plus Redux project will be done next week. So Redux is sort of a advanced React, and a lot of people even don't use Redux. Means the medium project nowadays, a lot of people use context API, which we are going to discuss today with your hooks point of view, because context we have already seen in the class based. Now we will see it in the hook based also. So let's get started without wasting any time. We will start now. I think we'll complete today early, a bit early, and then from next week it is Redux time. And I think 2-3 days will be Redux theory, and then we will do the some projects. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so hope you're able to see my screen. So this is what we created previous time, this hook things, and now we will go ahead of it. It is very cool to do this thing. So if you have not seen how I did it, see the previous day's slide in the playlist. It will be there, day 4. Okay, so today what we are going to do, we are going to do the last thing with the use effect, which is the fetching data with use effect. Okay, fetching data with the use effect. So it is running. So we are going to fetch data using Axios. So someone was asking me that another day, means I was using the fetch API, so can you do it with Axios? Yeah, because both of them are equal, means fetch API and Axios. Sometimes Axios is much better because the syntax is much easier. Anyways, in React you're going to install so many things, so why not install another package? Okay, Access is external package. Fetch by default comes with the browser, so you don't have to do something like this npm I Axios. So I have to install it, but it's okay. In React anyways we are going to install so many things that a small package of Axios doesn't matter. So npm I Axios have to go, and so let it get installed. Okay, it is installed. So let me create a new file, which is again data fetching dot js. I'm going to create. Okay, now as usual it is a RAFCE React functional component. Okay, it is a React functional component. So after this we are going to first have a, so we are going to do that same your post endpoint, JSON placeholder endpoints we are going to go. So for that we have to use first the state. Let us have a state. So const posts comma set posts equal to use state and empty array, because we are going to get it from as an means let me also show what we am going to do. This JSON placeholder thing, we always do this thing. The post API we are going to hit, and we are going to get an array of objects. So because we are getting an array of object, this post is set as an empty array. Okay, so that is there. And then how we are going to do, so first thing first, this use state I have to import, or it will give me error. So use state I have done. Now we have to use the use effect like this, and then after that axios dot get. So again I could have used the async await, but this time we will use the then and the catch block. So every time a bit different. So as I'm telling that this is also very modern thing to use a then and a catch. It is not like it is a very old thing. It's not an old thing. It's also a new thing, because it was in 2015 it was done, and async await was done in around 2017, and I've seen people using both of them. Okay, and you can use any of them. It is not like that one is very new or one is very, so you should not use that callback and all. So anything you can use. Okay, so like this axios.get I'm going to do, and then post, then dot then dot then and res is, let's first see what is there in the res, and then we'll do this thing, and dot catch an error, and console.log error, whatever is the error. Okay, so one more thing is there. So let me now, after that, just let me write something here. I don't know why it is coming like this. H1 list of posts. So I'm just doing a console log, and I'm just doing this, and data fetching I'll do. So this data fetching I'll do, data fetching, data fetching, and data fetching. So this all I'll do. No, okay, it will give me some error. I know what error it has given. Use effect I have not imported. Okay, I always forget these things. Use effect also I have to import. So if I come there, okay, list of post is that I'm just doing the console log. Okay, console, and where it is showing this hook, clean up code. Okay, so data fetching is done, and okay, so but one thing is that data fetching is done well. Okay, so all of this thing, the data is coming in like as response.data. So what we have to do, we have to do now, we have to show this data. Okay, show this data. And one more thing I want to tell, that it will do a lot of, we should not use it like this. We should always do this API call where we are going to get the data at once. We should always have it like this component did mount. Okay, it is not giving error right now, but sometime what happens, okay, it will give error. How it will give error? If I, okay, let me show how it will give error, then I will do this. Okay, so first thing, to get the error, let us see that error, although my browser will cry, but let us see that. ul, not like this, ul, I'll do ul, and then post, and post dot map, and post, just a single post, and then the just ally, and ally, in the ally I will show the post dot title, like this, post dot title, and I will also have a key. Key will be equal to post dot id. Okay, key will be equal to post dot id. Okay, now instead of this res, let us do this set posts. Why do I have a console line? Okay, wait, if I don't see the console log, how I'll see that error? So I have to do this because I want to see this everything, because I want to see the error also. So console log and set post res.data. So whenever the data will come, what will happen, res.data will be done, and this post will run. Okay, this post will run. Now let me stop it, and I have not yet saved it, so let me save it. See, this is the issue. It is doing hundreds of API calls, and suddenly the browser will get stuck, because this will kick us out and browser will be hanged. And so whenever we do API call, we should never forget to do this as a component did mount. So this is a component did mount code, so it will only run once, not hundreds of times, just like this, and it will hang the browser. Okay, so we always have to do that, or else it will hang it. Okay, so now if I go, now if I refresh, so only once it is come. once it is come. So this is very important, as I understand. So or else you will get an error. So people generally forget this thing in production, and that causes a lot of issues. So what was happening every time means it was doing a lot of call, because set post was running it, and the set post was going, and then it was updating the state, and it was going in loop and loop and loop and loop. Okay, so that is there. Now we will look into another thing. So let us create a data fetching to.js. Okay, so RAFCE. So it will be exactly like this only, exactly like this. Let me show what is the difference. I'll have everything here. Everything here. Now I will have a ID also. Okay, so and one more thing, this use state will be like this object, because we're going to get only one post, not all of the post. So it will not be post, it will be post, it will be post. So we are going to hit a different endpoint, API endpoint. Okay, so that endpoint is like /1. So like this, there is an endpoint like this also there. So I can hit get the individual post. Okay, so I'm getting the individual post by hitting this endpoint. So we are going to do that. So for that, what we are going to do, so a set post, because we are getting a single thing, then const id comma set id equal to use state of 1. Use state of 1 is done. Then this thing I have to change to a backtick, and then here also, okay, backtick, and then I have to give this $id. So id we will get, from where id we will get. So here I have to mention ID also. See, because this use effect will depend on the ID whenever someone changes the ID. So we are going to give the ID from here. How we are going to give? Let us see that. So here, instead, I don't need this list of post. I need a input box. Input of type text. It will be there, and value will be equal to ID. Value will be equal to the ID and on change. So ID is this set state ID, and then on change will be equal to e. Will directly do it here. E set ID is e dot target dot value. It is like this, Okay, why I am doing this, I don't know. Okay, it is like this, and id is their value, and e dot set dot target is the value. We are going to change. So id, we are using an initial state is 1, so because we want something to be shown, that's why we are giving it 1, so at least the first one is shown. And then we are going to have an input box in which we just need to change it like 1 from 1 to 2, 3, 4, and we'll get it. And we don't have all these fancy things now. Okay, and we also don't want to show like this. Let me show it in a h3. It's much better to show it in h3, and this will be just post dot title, because we are going to get all these things, so it's better to give the post dot title. We are going to give that h3 in h3, and let me save it. Now if I go back, see, okay, I have not yet imported it. So here save it, set post. Okay, I forgot to do that. Okay, set post is there, so this is also set post, not post, set post. Save it. Now see, first one is coming, and by default one is there in the input box because id is like 1. I have given is 1. Now I will change it from 1 to 2. 2 is there, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be coming like that. Okay, so this is just a simple example. Okay, so we are done here. Now we are going to look into use context too. So we have recently also looked into the context API from the class based component point of view. So a lot of things are similar like that, but then we have a something known as a context API, and we have recently seen, but then also I will tell that what is the issue with the normal way. So okay, so see, this is the issue. Suppose I want to pass some data from here to here to the C component. I want to pass some data from here to here. So what I have to do, I have to pass through A and B also. A and B also have to pass, although it is not required, but I have to pass the data from A and B also, and this is known as prop drilling, which is a very bad thing. Because suppose I have 100 components between app component and C component, I have to pass through all of them. So to solve this issue, we have got two things. One is either to use the centralized state management of Redux, which is overkill for small and medium projects. Because I have taken a lot of interviews, some people were telling that for their medium projects, also production level projects, they use context API only, they don't use Redux. But for big project, Redux is a must, and even for medium projects, Redux can be used in a better way. But people are generally confused with Redux. So we will see how to use the context API. Context, already we have done this thing once, so let us see that from a hook point of view. So a lot of things are similar only, like the child component, all those things we are going to create it is similar, and provider is also similar. Only the a bit of implementation is different. Okay, so I am here, and then child dot js I'll do, and then RAFCE I'll do. Okay, and here let me give it h2. H2 is much better, and it is child component. I'll do, save it, and then I will have a parent.js, and here RAFCE, and from here I will just call the child I'll call, and then I will have a grandparent.js, RAFCE, grandparent, and from grandparent I will call parent. Import it, and so just like what we have done earlier, grandparent to parent and parent to child is there, and then from the app.js we will call the grandparent. We remove this, save it, and the grandparent has been called. So the grandparent is called, and then child component has been shown. Okay, child component has been shown. Now we have to create a context. Okay, so earlier in the class based approach, what I have done, we have created a context one in a different file, but it is okay, we can create a context in this file also. We don't have to use a different file. So let us do that, creating a context there only. So first thing, in the app.js file, I don't like one thing which is not there nowadays. I am so import React from there. I don't know why that React team has removed that, but this should be there generally, or else a lot of issues are there. Okay, it is okay. So we're creating the context directly here, not in some other context file. We should know this thing, but that is same, that is equal. The way I have told in the class based, that you can create in a different file. Okay, so that is equal. Export const user context, equal to react dot create context, like this, react dot create context. And then what I'm going to do, user context dot provider. So we are using provider like this, so user context dot provider, and so I'll wrap it with user context dot provider. So like this we'll wrap similar thing, but we are creating there. Then we have to pass the value equal to bindu, will pass similar to that which we have done earlier. So now we are going to directly show it in the child component. We are going not going to show in the grandparent parent. We are going to directly show in the child component, and here also the consumer is like this. So now our this user context is in app.js file, so we have to import it from there. So let us do that. Okay, we will import it automatically, it's okay. So let us first remove this, because we are first going to do it with render process, which is always a bit difficult kind of a thing. Okay, so what I will do, I'll remove this thing, then user context dot consumer, okay, and then user context dot consumer, and we have to import it also. I have to import this. Yeah, so I have to import this. So user context I have imported. Then we will have that render props thing, which is a bit weird thing. Okay, so user, anything we can give, but it's better to give it user. And then like this, one thing I forgot, this one also we have to end. So then return h1 child component with context is user. I don't know why it is coming outside. So like this, user is there, and this is the same thing which we have done earlier also. And this user can be anything, but as I have told earlier, this is a keyword, value is a keyword, but this user can be anything. Okay, so let me refresh why it is not. Yeah, so it is coming now, when this coming perfectly, but this is the render props pattern. And let us this time also see the issue with this render props pattern, because this is something which we have not seen the earlier. I had told that there is an issue, but what issue is there? Okay, let us see that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another, so like this, export const channel context equal to react.create context, same. So we are going to have another which is a channel context, so we can have like this. Now the provider thing cannot change. Okay, provider is also, you might think, okay, it is a bit complicated. No, it is not complicated. Just like this we have to do. I don't want to pass react, I want to pass my channel name, the Webdav. Okay, and then I have to wrap like this. So this is provider is something which you cannot change, although it is not that much complicated. So you have to wrap this thing, so we have to pass this. The Webdav also we want to pass, but the real problem occurs in this child component. Okay, so now what I have to do, first thing first, so user context, let me do that thing, channel context also I will import. Now first thing I will remove all these things, because this is going to become a hell lot of complications. Okay, complications is like, first thing is that I have to remove this thing, not that thing, but remove this thing. Yes, as I was telling, there's a lot of complications. So this return I will do, have to remove. Okay, and then I have to do like this, and then I have to do this channel context dot consumer, and then I have to do something like anything I can do, means and again I can take any name, channel, and let me also close it, or else I will where do I close it? Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll close it here only. Channel context, I'll close it here. Then this channel is there. Then after this channel, we have to do like this. Then we have to do this return for this. Okay, return for this channel, and like this I can do. Okay, user listening to channel, whatever it is giving me. So see, so much complication is there, and I hope everything is right, and everything is not right, it will not work. Save it. Yeah, it is coming. The window is listening to the Webdav. Okay, it is good. And h2, let it be h2. So but see how much complication is there. So first the user thing, then the channel thing, all these things, all these complications are there. So this is something which will be there in the your class based also. I didn't show this example, but this problem is there in the class based also. So to solve this in the class based thing, we have done something like that context thing, static thing. So here also we are going to do something else, but here we are what we're going to do. So it's upon you that what you want to use. Okay, so there also I didn't have a class based component, a hook based component only I have. I think not hook based functional component I have, because it doesn't depend upon that. But there is a use context hook. Instead of using that static type, we are going to use a use context hook. Okay, so that use context hook, what is that? So that is a hook. So first we have to import it from React like a use effect. So it is a comma use context. So it's a hook. It's a hook. So now similar to here, we are going to have this both of them user context and channel context. Okay, so now what we are going to use, const user equal to use context hook. That use context hook is there. In that user context I have to do, and const channel equal to use context of the channel context is there. Just this much we have to do, and then after that I'll come here and h2, and same thing, user is, or maybe h1 I will give. User is listening through to channel, maybe through parent, or I have to see that it is working. Okay, so like this I can directly use it. See, so simple is that. This is much more simpler than that, because there we had a lot of boilerplate code like a static type, all those things we have to do, but this is much more cleaner code, and that's why it is so powerful. This use context hook is so powerful. See, number is to the parent. So this one is coming from here, h1, and this one is coming from this h2. So this is how simple it is. So this is our use context hook, a very powerful hook and used a lot. So a lot of people use it instead of the Redux centralized state management. Though now we are going to again look into the UseRef hook, and we are going to again look into the same focus input thing. Okay, so focus input.js, I'm going to have this file focus input, and like this, save it. Focus input, like this I am having. So okay, nothing will come now. So this focus input is there, and we are going to do the same thing. This is focusing the input. By default it doesn't focus, but we are going to focus it because we are going to use the ref again. So here we are going to use a hook known as UseRef. Okay, and there we were directly create ref, something we are using. And so here we'll use the UseRef, and again we have to use some side effect, and that's why we are going to use the use effect also. In there we have used the component did mount. Here we have to use the use effect and use ref, and again we are going to see that focus thing on an input box. So div is there, and then input is there. So but it is input type text, and I have to use a ref and input ref. I'll use input ref is the input ref. So how we are going to give it? I am going to give it through const input ref is useRef, and I have to pass a null. I have to pass a null useRef. I have to pass a null, and then inside a use effect I will pass this, and like here I have to run it only once, like a component did mount. In the class based one also we did a component did mount, and then input ref dot current dot focus, only this much we have to do, and focus is already there. So it is blinking. If you don't use that, this thing by default this focus will not be there. So not much difference is there from the class based thing here. Like this there I think we have a create ref, and here this user thing you have to do, but this is how. And as I've told, useref will be used a lot. Means in production project you will always face some issue that you want to access some DOM level element which is not there in React, then you have to use this thing. Okay, so there will always be a issue like this in production level project in which we have to face and use it. And with this actually we complete our whole of React from beginners to advanced. We have completed everything. Hope you like this series and learned a lot from this React beginners to advanced. And if you want to learn more, you should go through the projects on my channel. So that are a very good way to learn. And this is a very good basics which I have covered from Monday till Saturday. I have covered today, and I was thinking also this will be completing soon, but I was not able to complete Redux and some projects. So that will be done next week. Next week will be Redux beginners to advanced, and then it will take around 3 days to cover the theory, and 2 more days will be there for the projects. Okay, so with this I will end today's system. Hope you liked it. Someone is code not visible. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have to check. Sorry, I didn't check this. Okay, so YouTube users didn't say anything. Okay, someone in the LinkedIn was facing some issue. Okay, so what I sorry for that, faced any issue. I will check this thing. Okay, so thank you all. I will see you again Monday with the Redux beginners to advanced.